We're in a whole new world of college football with the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams. And I think the new world also includes not having a bleeping clue as to who is going to win the championship this year. I mean, it is crazy. Let's bring in Bill Bender from Sporting News. And, Bill, even if we had the traditional four teams fighting it out in the college football playoff, I don't think that anybody really knows right now who the best team in the country is. I mean, you can have rankings. You can say that you think you know, but at this point, it's about as wide open as I've seen.
Yeah, forget about the national championship. I can't figure out the SEC. There's 9 teams with 2 losses or less. 9 teams that are ranked between Texas to Vanderbilt. It's been wild. The Big Ten, same deal. I mean, who do you think is the best team in the Big Ten right now? On paper, it's Oregon. Yeah, they beat Ohio State. They probably have the best shot of any of these top 5 teams to go undefeated into the college football playoff championship games or the conference championship games. But who knows from there? And Georgia, Texas was yet another reminder that I don't know how to pick a top 5 game. I was on Texas last week. Georgia proved that wrong in a hurry.
Yeah, no, I mean, these games have certainly been crazy. And by the way, a lot of the games, too, like over before they begin. And then all of a sudden, like late in the game, you're like, wait, maybe there's a shot here. But Oregon is the number 1 team in the country. And by virtue of the quarterback on Ohio State not really knowing how much time was left. I mean, think about that for a minute. You probably could also say the same thing about Georgia. They had one bad half all season against Alabama. Since then, they've been really good. They get that win against Texas. I find it very interesting, Bill, that Kirby Smart is playing this underdog card, I guess. Nobody wants to believe in us kind of stuff. I'm like reading all this stuff saying, wait a second here. Like, you guys are always good. There's no underdog card here with Georgia. And they're one of those teams, Bill, that's going to be playing in the playoff. I guess the question in your mind is, were you impressed enough with that win over Georgia to think that they should be, let's say, one of the main contenders to win the championship?
Yes, and because of the defense. That was angry Georgia. Allowing 1.1 yards per carry to a really good Texas team that had dominated everybody up to that point. You mentioned it. Kirby plays the underdog card better than anybody. He plays it when they're 30-point favorites. He plays it when they're a rare underdog, but it worked, and they played well. Most impressive part of that game was after the pass interference debacle where the fans were throwing things on the field. They reversed the call. Texas scores. What does Georgia do? They take the ball down the field, 11 plays, 80 yards, touchdown, game over. That's national championship DNA. They still have it. Don't love their running game. I still think that there's some work to be done there, but this Georgia team is good enough to win a national title.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, so Alabama, in a very rare situation in the history of college football, going back, let's say, 20 years, 2 losses. We haven't even got to November. I mean, they're on the outside looking into this thing. But again, SEC championship, end of the season. They've done this before, and they find their way back in. Tennessee, on the other hand, did exactly what they were supposed to do and take care of the Crimson Tide. And I think finally, Bill, it's fair to say that Tennessee is right smack in the middle of this championship picture. They needed that win.
It's huge. Huge for Tennessee. They're doing it differently. Josh Heupel has this reputation as an offense guy and getting the ball up and down the field. Their defense is good. It's really good. Nico's getting better with each week. Iamaliava gets the late touchdown pass. In the past, when Alabama takes that 17-14 lead on the rushing touchdown, Tennessee folds there in the past. They answered. They scored 10 points. I think with Alabama, what I'm looking at is a different problem each week. Against Vandy, couldn't get off the field on third down. Against South Carolina, situational football at the end of each half. Against Tennessee, couldn't stay on the field on third down, and right. Jalen Milroe had a bad turnover. So, I don't know, Craig. Do you really think they can go to Tiger Stadium and beat LSU on the road the way they're playing right now? I'm not sure they can.
Yeah, I mean, especially is it Saturday night? I don't know, because Saturday night no one wins at LSU through the years. Right. That's the way it's gone in Death Valley. Okay, so look, surprise of the season is there's a couple surprises. The academies both being ranked, I think that's a big one. This is probably the biggest, though, the fact that Indiana is 7-0 on the season. 7 wins, no losses. They're doing it in blowout fashion. No one had this at the beginning of the year. And, look, being undefeated definitely gives them a shot at the college football playoff. But what's really interesting, Bill, and we'll look at the odds to make the playoff too, is that the odds makers are still sort of telling us this is a little bit of a paper tiger here. They're still 2-1 to make the college football playoff, being 7-0. I mean, there's only a handful of games left for this team too. How have they, turned this around so quickly? How has that school gotten so good this year?
Kurt Cignetti is probably the Big Ten version of Steve Spurrier. He brings in 13 transfers from James Madison. They bring in Curtis Rourke, the Ohio transfer quarterback, who is going to sit this week. That's probably why those odds are the way they are. He's an NFL quarterback. His brother played with Jacksonville. He's been outstanding, throws the ball down the field well. They run the ball effectively. If they had a different uniform on, you'd think you were looking at Michigan or Penn State. They're playing with that kind of style. That was an eye-opening blowout against Nebraska. I thought that game was going to be close. It was 28-7 at halftime. The big thing with Indiana moving forward is they have to take care of business against Washington this week, against a Huskies team that can move the football without Rourke. Taven Jackson's up at quarterback, and they'll be judged on the Michigan and Ohio State games. But, Craig, there is a scenario. I painted it out this morning. Get this. Imagine Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Illinois, Indiana. There is a scenario where all 5 teams could be 11-1 and 8-1 in conference play. It requires Illinois upsetting Oregon, but the fact we're talking about it says how wild this could be.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Big Ten, SEC, both conferences are having a great year. Real quick, Indiana plus 200 to get in. Kansas State with a big statement. They're plus 165 to make the college football playoff. Anything you like there in particular? I can't give you LSU because that's even money. Got to pick something else.
Give me the Wildcats. I still think they're the best team in the Big 12. They've gotten through all the tough road games. They play Iowa State at the end of the year. They run the ball. They stop the run. Avery Johnson's gotten better. I'm still on Kansas State as the Big 12 champion.
And they impress every week. All right, Bill, great stuff. We'll catch up later in the week. Thanks again for coming on Newswire.
Hey, thank you.